Waking up in the middle of the night to a sharp, sudden tightness in the calf is an experience many people over 50 know too well. You find yourself rubbing your leg in the dark, or forced to stand up on a cold floor just to find some relief. What you are feeling is a severe muscle spasm, and if it seems to be happening more often lately, you are certainly not alone. It is completely normal to worry that these intense cramps are a sign of failing legs or a serious medical condition. But while that pain is very real, it is often just a quiet signal that your legs need a gentle reset, not a reason to panic. Try this with me for a second. Gently squeeze your calf muscle right now. Does it feel deeply tight or heavy? If your lower legs carry that constant tension during the day, the risk of a cramp happening while you sleep goes up. This tells us that nighttime cramps actually begin long before you get into bed. They start with how the leg functions during the day. Your lower legs house a powerful hidden system designed to keep fluids and blood moving against gravity. The calves work constantly to support your body weight and maintain that upward flow as long as you are active. But when you finally lie down at night and that movement stops, the environment inside the leg completely changes. The muscle attempts to relax, but if it has been overworked or lacks the right support, the signal gets confused. Instead of resting, the fibers lock up abruptly. That sudden misfire is what creates that intense, pulling pain. This is exactly why simply trying to ignore it and sleep through the cramp almost never works. The muscle is literally stuck. To stop these misfires, we first need to understand how the calf acts as a second heart for your body. The calf muscles are often referred to as the second heart of the human body. Every time you take a step, this muscle contracts, squeezing the veins and pushing blood back upward against gravity. But when we sit for long hours, this powerful pump becomes quiet, allowing fluids to slowly pool in the lower legs. After 50, blood vessels may gradually lose some of their elasticity, which makes this pumping job even harder. So when you lie flat in bed, gravity is no longer pulling fluid down, but the calf muscle is still tight. Those tense muscle fibers are now swimming in a different fluid balance, making them highly sensitive and prone to misfiring. At this point, just a tiny movement, like pointing your toes under a heavy blanket, can easily trigger the spasm. This is why standing up and taking a few steps usually breaks the cramp by forcing the pump to restart. Our goal is not just to survive the cramp, but to help keep the muscle from locking up in the first place. Many people try a variety of quick fixes, from eating extra bananas to trying different stretches and supplements. However, there is one specific mineral that almost everyone reaches for the moment these nighttime cramps begin. We are talking about magnesium. It is heavily marketed and widely recommended for muscle spasms. But is it really the magic shield against leg cramps that we all hope it to be? The clinical research actually paints a very different picture for older adults dealing with this specific issue. Before you buy another bottle, let's look at what your body might actually be asking for instead. Let me ask you a quick question. Does taking a magnesium pill right before bed instantly stop nighttime leg cramps? For many older adults dealing with this specific issue, clinical studies actually show it might not work much better than a placebo. While magnesium is a wonderful mineral that supports overall health, it is rarely a quick fix for sudden muscle lockups at night. Instead of just focusing on adding a mineral, we often need to look at a simpler, more powerful foundation: daily hydration. As we get older, our body's natural thirst signal becomes weaker, making it easy to be mildly dehydrated all day without realizing it. When your body lacks water, your blood becomes slightly thicker, which makes your calf pump work much harder to push fluid upward. Muscles themselves are mostly water. When those muscle fibers dry out even a little bit, they become irritable and twitchy. So, going to sleep in a slightly dehydrated state practically sets the stage for a midnight cramp to surprise you. Sipping water consistently throughout your day is one of the easiest and safest first steps you can take to prevent this. Now, many people intentionally avoid drinking water in the evening to prevent nighttime bathroom trips, which is completely understandable. A practical compromise is to front-load your hydration, drinking the majority of your water in the morning and early afternoon. This steady daytime hydration helps keep your blood flowing smoothly and your muscle fibers properly nourished by night. However, water alone is not always enough if those fibers are still physically knotted up from the strain of the day. To truly support those legs, you also need a way to gently iron out that tension before you fall asleep. That is why establishing a simple, 3-minute stretching routine right on your bed can make such a tremendous difference. We have looked at fluids, but now we need to physically relax the tension that builds up in the calf muscle. The muscles in your lower legs can stay tight simply from supporting you as you stand, walk, or sit all day. If you get into bed with that lingering tightness, the muscle is already primed and much more likely to cramp. This is why taking just 3 minutes to safely release that tension right on your bed can be so effective. You can do these simple movements while lying down, allowing your back and legs to feel completely supported and relaxed. Step 1 is gentle elevation. This helps the blood and extra fluids naturally move back toward the center of the body. Place a soft pillow under your lower legs for about a minute. Let gravity assist your circulation while you rest. This simple shift gently reduces the built-up pressure and heavy feeling in the legs after a long day. While your legs are supported, move to step 2. Gentle ankle circles help loosen the joints and the surrounding muscles. Slowly rotate your feet 5 times in one direction, and then 5 times in the other, breathing calmly as you go. This specific motion quietly activates the calf muscle pump, clearing out pooled fluid without requiring you to carry any weight. Remember to keep the movement small and easy. We are trying to relax the muscle, not give it a workout. The final step is a very gentle stretch. This reminds the muscle fibers how to lengthen properly before you sleep. Slowly pull your toes back toward your shin for a few seconds, feeling a light stretch, and then fully relax. These 3 moves take the pressure off. But there is one more thing in your bed that often triggers nighttime cramps. Let's talk about something I call the blanket trap. It is a common habit that physically forces your muscles to cramp. If your sheets and blankets are tucked in tightly at the foot of the bed, they can force your toes to point downward. This specific position keeps the calf muscle in a shortened, contracted state for hours while you are trying to sleep. When the muscle is forced into this shortened position all night, it takes very little to push it into a full cramp. A simple habit is to physically untuck the blankets at the foot of the bed, giving your feet room to rest neutrally. Another simple environmental factor that can affect your leg muscles at night is temperature, specifically cold feet. Cold temperatures can cause blood vessels to constrict slightly, which may reduce the smooth flow of circulation to the lower legs. Wearing a pair of loose, warm socks to bed is an easy way to support that circulation throughout the night. Just ensure the socks are completely loose around the ankles. A tight elastic band would defeat the purpose by restricting flow. Giving your feet room to move and keeping them comfortably warm creates a much safer resting environment for those muscles. But we have to be realistic. Even with these careful steps, a muscle cramp might still wake you up occasionally. When that sudden tightness hits, our immediate physical instinct is often to tense up or massage the leg aggressively. Instead, try to stay calm, slowly straighten your leg on the bed, and gently point your toes toward your knee. If you can safely do so, carefully standing up puts natural weight on the heel, physically encouraging the calf to lengthen. Managing the night is crucial, but some of the most common daytime habits are quietly setting the stage for these cramps. Remember the calf muscle pump we discussed earlier? It turns out your daytime routine affects it the most. Long periods of uninterrupted sitting can be the biggest challenge for that natural pumping action. Sitting allows fluid to pool slowly in the lower legs, creating a heavy environment for the muscles. If you often cross your legs while sitting, you might be adding a physical roadblock to that circulation. This can gently compress the veins behind the knee, making it even harder for the calf to push blood up. A simple adjustment is to keep both feet flat on the floor, giving your circulation a clear, open path. Taking a short walking break every hour helps move that pooled fluid back toward the center of the body. The shoes you wear around the house during the day also play a hidden role in your leg health. Walking without proper support forces the calf muscles to work overtime just to keep your body balanced. An exhausted, overworked calf muscle is much more likely to spasm and lock up when it finally rests. Wearing supportive indoor shoes can help reduce that daily muscular strain before it turns into a nighttime problem. Keeping the calf pump supported during the day makes the night much easier on your entire lower body. While these gentle habits help most people, there are times when cramps are a sign to ask for professional guidance. Because not all leg pain at night is just a simple, harmless muscle spasm. There are 3 specific warning signs you should never ignore, and they are always worth discussing with a doctor. While most nighttime leg cramps are harmless muscle spasms, there are times when your body is asking for professional medical help. The first sign to watch for is if the cramp is accompanied by sudden swelling, redness, or warmth in just one leg. This specific combination can point to an underlying circulation issue that needs immediate professional checking, not just gentle stretching. The second sign is if the pain doesn't only happen in bed, but consistently happens while you walk and stops when you rest. This is completely different from a resting cramp. It often relates to how well your arteries deliver oxygen during movement. The third sign is if the cramps suddenly started shortly after you began taking a new prescription medication. Certain prescriptions, like some medications for blood pressure or cholesterol, can occasionally affect muscle hydration and the electrolyte balance. If you suspect this, never stop your medication on your own. Always ask your doctor if an adjustment is possible first. The general rule is simple. If the cramps are so severe that they constantly ruin your sleep, please seek professional help. But remember, for the vast majority of us, these cramps are simply the body asking for better support during the day. So, how do we put everything we've learned today into a simple, actionable plan for your legs? Try this specific routine for just 1 week and notice how your lower legs respond. Step 1. Front-load your water intake so you stay hydrated without ruining your sleep. Step 2. Keep both feet flat on the floor when sitting, and take short hourly walking breaks. And finally, what you choose to do in the 3 minutes before your head hits the pillow matters most. Step 3. Dedicate just 3 minutes to the gentle elevation, ankle circles, and light stretch right before you sleep. These 3 minutes act as a gentle physical reset button for the calf pump after a long day of gravity. If you combine steady daytime hydration with this simple evening routine, you are giving your legs exactly what they need. But to make this plan truly work, we also need to rethink 3 common habits that fight against your progress. Habit number 1 is ignoring your thirst until the evening. Remember to front-load your water intake earlier in the day. By the time you feel very thirsty, your body is often already slightly dehydrated, making the muscle fibers highly sensitive. Habit number 2 is the blanket trap. Tightly tucked sheets physically force your calf into a shortened, vulnerable position. Take a few seconds every night to pull the blankets loose at the bottom, giving your feet complete freedom. Habit number 3 is walking around your house in flat, unsupportive slippers, which forces your calves to work overtime. Switching to a supportive indoor shoe reduces the daily strain, so your legs are not completely exhausted by bedtime. None of these changes require a drastic lifestyle overhaul or an expensive supplement. They are just small, smart daily adjustments. When you support the circulation and ease the physical tension, the calf muscle pump can do its job effortlessly. The muscle fibers remain hydrated and relaxed throughout the night, significantly lowering the chance of a sudden, painful misfire. You may find yourself waking up feeling much more rested, able to stretch your legs naturally without any fear. Building this routine takes a little consistency at first, but the comfort and relief are absolutely worth the effort. If you decide to start this evening, tonight could be the beginning of much deeper, uninterrupted rest. The small investment of 3 minutes is a powerful way to respect your body's needs. You do not need to push through the pain or accept it as an unavoidable part of getting older. By keeping that natural pump moving during the day, you prevent the pressure from building up. And by giving your feet physical space at the end of the bed, you stop the cramps before they start. When your legs are fully rested, every step you take the next day feels lighter and much more secure. We often focus heavily on what we eat, but sometimes the answer lies in how we move and rest. Try to implement these 3 simple steps tonight. Hydrate early, stretch gently, and loosen your blankets. Your legs have carried you this far, and with a little support, they will keep you moving strongly. A quiet, restful night is not out of reach. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might be struggling with their sleep too. We will continue exploring simple, effective ways to support your mobility in our next video. Until then, take good care of yourself, stay hydrated, and rest well. Remember to always listen to your body, and never hesitate to seek professional guidance when you need it. This video is for general educational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.